Hey guys, gonna get a Soviet deck building video up for you today. I'm gonna do a Russian balance deck, national deck, and we got Cosmonaut here.
Hey, how's it going?
He's gonna go through his with us. We're gonna discuss some options that you can have and some essentials that you need in pretty well every Russian deck. So here we go. Start off with logistics. All right, so command options. Perhaps you could go with a cheaper armored like a BRDM or a BRM 1K. What do you got, Cosmo?
I personally go with the BRDM 2U.
Okay.
A little bit of armor. I mean, you definitely don't need any sort of weapon on there. But I like the little bit of armor, and it's really speedy. So
Right on. I think with this one, I'm gonna go UAZ and T72 combo. Because
it's a good one. Get an armored command.
yeah, I'll just do T72. The T80 is just that's overkill to be. I think like you don't need to be paying for the ATGMs and that kind of stuff for
I
a
mean, it's a
command
beast,
vehicle.
but at 250 points, I mean, I think you're definitely better off going with the T72.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we'll go T72 and it was, and then cargo. It's no question the 4320 is the way to go. Two cards of those. The
Absolutely.
Yeah, the speed off road is really good, 70 kilometers an hour.
I mean, the Mi-26 is awesome. It's huge, 6,000
Wow,
liters
that is
of
huge. Yeah,
supplies. But
big. Yeah,
it's
two of
big.
them.
It's hard to hide, and you only get two.
It is quite big. All right, next. Infantry. Got to go with the Motorstrelki in the, what is it? As Cosmonaut calls it, the Soviet equivalent of the VAB, the BTR 60 PB.
You know it. Gotta love it.
Okay, gonna go with a card of Hardened, I guess, and Conquers. Need the Conquers teams also in the VAB. Ooh, that's tough. Going trained or hardened with those guys.
I go hardened
Yeah,
with most ATGM units just because you want those first round hits.
yeah, I agree. It's just tough when you only get six. Okay, Igla team, got to get those in the VAB as well. Gonna go with six of those. What else we got here? Saperi, Factorio.
I personally prefer the Spetsnaz if you're gonna go separate. I mean, separate are good, but those Spetsnaz
Yeah,
are just excellent against infantry in forests and fighting buildings just because of that napalm launcher.
yeah, no kidding. I think I'm gonna go Spetsnaz in MI8Ts.
I have a card of them in MIATs. I also have a card of them in the BTR RD Robot.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go Spetsnaz in the robots and VDV in MIAT. I like that rocket. If you guys didn't notice, the VDV has a outstanding anti-tank rocket, unguided, but 875-meter range, which is pretty much unheard of for unguided rockets in this game.
Yeah, it's funny because it outranges the Eric's missile that the Canadians and I believe the Norwegians have, and that's an ATGM, and it only has an 850 range.
Insane, insane. Yeah, there you go, stupid Canada. Okay, next, so I got a card of Motorstrelki and Vabs, card of Conquerors, card of Iglas, card of Spetsnaz, card of VDV. Probably need to bring one more thing of cheap infantry. So what do you bring Motorstrelki wise?
In this particular deck, I just bring them in the BTR 60, just
Two
a card of
cards?
them,
Oh, just one?
just one. But you could double if you were gonna double up on anything. I'd double up on the motor Strelky.
Yeah,
They're really good.
I think I might bring them in BMP ones. That's a cheap vehicle. Good for city fighting. BMP one or BMP 1D? Ooh, that's tough. You know what? Maybe the 1D that's got the AGS 17 on it. Yeah, I'm gonna go the BMP 1D. Alrighty, let's go to support. Okay, gotta get the Tunguska, no question.
Yeah,
And
I like the BMP-1D. It's a good infantry carrier.
yeah, those are my call-in close support infantry kind of thing because the BMP is not so fast. So okay, gotta go Tunguska, right?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Buck M1, absolutely. Bring in 4 of those. Now the question, another card of the cheap Tunguskas, you think?
I personally go with I go with the 2K22M and I go with the card of the 2K22. Although the Strela is a good option, the Strela M10.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna go with the Tunguskas. They've been pretty effective, so I'm gonna go with the cheap, the six of those. And we are gonna come back to artillery at the end to see what we have left points wise. Okay, tanks. This is the fun. I like these T55 AM2s or AMVs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're not as good as they used to be. Basically they up the point value. But yeah, I have the T55 AM2s. Gotta
Yeah,
love cheap ATGM tanks.
absolutely. I'm gonna bring in a card of those as well. Hardened. Okay. I'm gonna skip the T62 and go for the T64. BV BM. T64B or BM.
I like the BM personally.
Just that 2 extra armor does it for you, or what?
Yeah,
Oh, and better
it's a slightly
optics.
faster, better optics.
Yeah, slightly faster. Yeah, okay. BM sounds good. And then I got to top it off with the T80A is a must reflex missile at 130 points. Can't beat that.
Definitely not.
And
I mean, go
T80U,
with it.
obviously,
I'm
you
saying
got to
you
go.
can't beat it.
Yeah, obviously, you got to go with the T80U as well. Okay, Recon. Now, brought Jeeps in my last deck, but I'm not sure that I really get point value use out of.
They're cheap. You can send them everywhere, but yeah, that's true. I mean, you gotta have to, or you kind of have to get your point value out of it, and it's certain maps you really, it's hard to move them up.
I put the MI2 in. Got to have a Recon heli. That's no question. So now between Spetsnaz VHF and Rezvedka, I think I'm gonna go with the Rezevka just because I don't really use mine for fighting. So
Yeah, if you're not using them for fighting, definitely the
in the
Razvedka.
in the PBs, ooh, maybe in a heli, I get a 20-point heli. No, I'm gonna go PBs. Those are fast. And
I I personally go with the Spetsnaz just because of that Dragonov 1,050 meter range.
yeah, well,
Really, you can reach out and touch guys, but it's it's true. I mean, there's both of them only have strength 5, so it's kind of
yeah,
a toss up.
yeah. I'm gonna go with the Rezdevka or Vedka. I gotta start saying that right. And maybe just another card of those guys in helis, to be honest. And the cheapest heli they have, they're the MIAT.
Still a good heli.
Yeah, still useful with its rockets. Okay, bring in a bunch of those. Okay, now onto vehicle. What do we got here? BMPTs. I've had good use of those. I'm gonna bring those in again. Now also Buratino, just for the fun of it. There we go.
Yeah,
Push some
that's
of the
a
other options
hilarious unit.
here. Conquer's Jeeps, always a good choice at 25 points. Steal of a deal. What else? The Sturm S, I've heard is quite effective. Kokon missile.
Yeah, really good range on that bad boy.
Yeah, really good range and quite good accuracy with 12 missiles on board. That's a good deal at 50 points. Afghanskis are popular, I think. You can spam them. No
They are.
radar. Good for
No
infantry.
radar, exactly.
And then
Um, if you wanted something cheap to take hits, if you were doing maybe a more tank focused deck, SU 12254s are pretty good. They
Definitely,
can
yeah.
usually take a hit. They have 4 frontal armor. Usually can take one hit of something.
Yeah, right on. Kind of like the Martyr has 4, and it can take a hit from a gun or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so that's those are so far. That's what I'm gonna go for vehicles. Helicopters. Gotta go with the Mi-24 VP over the Mi-24V. 5 points. You get less rockets, but or you get more rockets. Correction. You also get a 30 millimeter cannon, which, let's be honest, that's a big deal over a 12.7.
Right. I mean, you lose that medium stabilizer, but getting 80 millimeter rockets is pretty excellent. And that 30 mil, I mean, that's how you win those heli rush battles right
Yeah,
there.
for sure. I mean, you're right. Like, I didn't see that stabilizer. That's a good point to make. That's the only helicopter on here that can fire on the move effectively, but I think you're undergunning yourself a little bit for the points. Okay, and then you bring in any Mi-4s?
I don't, but I do bring in Akulas. I've just kind of been playing with that lately. I mean, it has really good range, has a capability. They are pretty expensive, though.
Too bad the missile isn't fire and forget, eh?
Yeah, that would really be something.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take an Akula as well. Just nice for shutting down heli rushes. Okay, planes, the fun part of the Russians. So many choices, so many choices. We got MiG 23Ps. Those things shred my helicopters on the reg.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap. They have that 23 millimeter autocannon and those infrared missiles. Pretty good.
6 of them, too.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool looking plane, too.
You gotta go with MiG 31s.
Yeah, I gotta go with
MiG
the.
31 over the 31M just because you get 2 per card.
Yeah, and the you're not giving up a lot, really. Well, a couple accuracy and a couple hundred meters of range, but I think if you micro them, ECM is a little better. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 2 per card.
Yeah,
That's your
honestly,
biggest
having a
advantage.
pair of them instead of the one better plane, I think that negates any sort of advantage that the
Well,
31M has.
I think so too, because you're gonna take hits if you fly over AA, ECM or not, right? Especially with only good and not very good or exceptional. Think I'm gonna bring in a MiG 27 as well, like the MiG 27K.
That's a good choice. That's what I use.
Oh, is the MiG 27M uh fire and forget? Wow, that's cool.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That is a good point. Although, I mean, it's quite a bit more expensive.
Yeah, I wonder if you only get one. I still get two. Still get two. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna try it. Whatever. It's expensive. Okay. What is left? We got 5 points left. So we'll go with two more planes. No, a plane and maybe an arty or something like that. Okay, we got for options left. So we got a ground attack, got air superiority. Maybe need a cheapie. Yak 38 napalm.
Yeah, Yak 38's a good highlight of the Soviets. Also, the MiG 21S, 45 points, comes in with two 500 kilogram cluster bombs. Pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
1,000 kilometer an hour speed.
That is. That is. I
For 10 more
think,
points, you can get a gun.
I'm going to go with the gun. I like using cheapies for shooting down helicopters or at least annoying them. There we go. 20. And yeah, 2 cluster bombs. That's good. Although I don't have any anti infantry bombs, which is a little unsettling because sometimes you need it.
Yeah, the Yak 38 is the one that you'd want for that. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
the
absolutely.
38 with napalm or the 38M, four 500 kilogram bombs.
Yeah, I'm just sorting through. Yeah, you're right. Those are the only two. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to skip that for now and go have a look at what else we got here. So I'll probably bring in one arty. Um, maybe a Mista, you only get one card. One per card, correction. Or I could go with mortars. 7700 range mortar.
Yeah, personally, I like the Nona SVK. I
And
mean,
you get three of them.
7700, you get three, accuracy 10, and I've just really been
Alright.
liking mortars lately.
And then one more vehicle choice, and that should make the deck. Yeah, one more vehicle choice, and that'll be it. So I got BMPT and Buratino. What else could I get in there?
Well,
Might.
depending on how you feel, I mean, the Sturm is a good choice, but the Afghansky can be used pretty effectively.
No, you know what? I brought in two cards of Tunguskas. I'm going to go with the Sturm.
Right on.
Alright, and that's the deck, guys. I'm going to try and get a game with Cosmonaut here. We're going to try and get a 2v2 for you with this deck, and we'll see how it goes.